Hi, I hope you're doing well and staying safe during this pandemic. In this tutorial, I wanted to share with you another very quick project, which is the ear saver. If you haven't heard about this, they're used to kind of relieve the stress on your ears when you're using this type of mask. And after a while, they get quite uncomfortable on your ears. And here you can just put it on the elastic and put it behind your head like I'm gonna show you in a little bit. So please don't mind my mask. I did put the fabric upside down when I was making it. So anyways, so you can just first put it in here, then put the mask and attach the elastic to the buttons on the back, as you can see here. And you can also put the elastic above your ears to be more comfortable if you wish to do it that way. And also, if you have your hair up, is easier. I don't know if you can see the back. Can you see it? Anyways, you see the buttons on both sides. Let me see. I'm gonna turn around. In that way I can show you better how it looks in the back. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, so this is how it looks in the back, and it's very comfortable. It's way more comfortable to use than just putting it in your ear. And also you can use it with your hair up. If you have a hair ponytail, you can put it on top of your ponytail if you want to, but remember to put it above the ears and under the ears so it'd be more comfortable. And it's very easy to do. If you don't know how to crochet, it's a very amazing first project to learn how to crochet. The materials that we are going to need are yarn size 4. As you can see, it's 100% cotton. Also, we're going to need a crochet hook, which is G6 or 4.25 millimeters. Also, we're going to need thread, sewing thread, scissors and needles, and also we're going to need the threader or finger protector. I forgot how it's called. Buttons, you can use it like really detailed like this or just plain like this. This ones I got it at Dollar Tree, and the package looked like this. And also you can use, this is to the ear stand, and you can use this type of buttons which have a little hole at the back, and then you can just put it through the crochet project and just sew it in the back like this, you know, just sew it and make it peek through, and then you just sew it in there. Okay, so that's how it will look once you attach it very well to the crochet. And here is the face mask, and you'll be attaching the buttons to there, in that way to be more comfortable. This is a mask that I previously did a tutorial for, and this is fit, this ear saver fit this mask specifically, so I made sure to make sure it's that size. And if you want to make this mask right here, I'm gonna put the link somewhere in here, and you will see that in the information button. Okay, let's start by doing the first knot. You insert your crochet hook through the loop, twist it, then gather yarn and pass it through the loop, and that's your first knot, which you tighten it out. Then you gather yarn, pull it through the hoop, and pull it through the hoop. There's 5 chains. These are the chains, and you're gonna do 5. Now 19 and 20 for a total of 20 chains. Then we count 1 2 3, and then in the 4th chain we're gonna do a double crochet, which is gather yarn, then you put the hook through that 4th chain, like that little thread in there, then gather yarn again, gather again, pass through 2 loops, then gather yarn again and pass through that loop, and that's your first double crochet. Again, gather yarn, insert through the same chain, gather yarn, pass through 2 loops. I kind of messed up, there's just a little thread in there. Okay, gather yarn and pass through 2 loops again, and that's your second double crochet. That will be if you count the 3 chains, they are equivalent to 1 double crochet, and you're gonna keep doing 1 double crochet in each chain until you get to that knot. Well, not on the knot, but before. Okay, insert, gather, pass through 2, gather yarn, pass through 2. That's in the next one. Now in the next chain, again, try not to twist the chain, gather yarn, insert in chain, gather yarn, insert through 2 loops or pass through 2 loops, gather yarn and pass through 2 loops again, and there's your next double crochet, next chain. Okay, insert, gather yarn, pass through 2 loops, gather yarn and pass through 2 loops, and you keep going doing your double crochet like that until before the knot. And remember not to twist the chain, and remember that 3 chains in the beginning are equivalent to 1 double crochet, so that first chain will have like 3 double crochet. We'll be back when we get to there. Okay, so okay, now we're back and we're in that last chain, which is the one after the knot, and we're gonna do 2 double crochet in that one. So at each end there's an amount of 2 double crochet. Okay, I'm gonna treat those 3 chains like a double crochet. So 3 double crochet in here, and remember, if you twist the chain, your crochet project will be twisted too. So try to always, when you do your double crochet in the chain, keep it straight and do it in the same little loop. Okay, so now we're gonna do 2 double crochet mat here, more in here, pass through 2, gather again and pass through 2. Okay, one more, gather, insert through chain, make sure you gather the whole thread, gather again, pass through 2 loops, gather again, pass through 2 loops, and here's a 3 in 1 chain in the last chain. Okay, now we're going to work in the other side of the project, and we're going to start by using this loop of the chain right here, if you see it. So that's what we're gonna, let me show you better. That loop right there, that's where we're gonna work our next double crochet, and we're gonna hide this tail in here as we go and do our double crochets on the other side. So we gather yarn, insert through the loop in the chain, gather yarn again, gather again, pass through 2, gather again and pass through 2 loops. Okay, the same going in the next. Remember the next little loop, hide your tail, insert in chain, gather again, pass through 2 loops, gather again, pass through 2 loops, and that's our other double crochet. Okay, remember to hide that tail in there, and we keep going until we get we're gonna do 1 double crochet in each of the chains that are remaining. Okay, until we get to this point in here, which is before the chain that we wore the 3 double crochet. Okay, we're here, and you see we're here in the last one. It may be confusing, but the other one belong to the 3 chains double crochet. And if you want to make sure that you got the right amount, you can see this is where the 3 double crochet are. If you wanted to make sure that you got the right amount of double crochet on both sides, you count 1, like here, see? Okay, you count 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. On the other side should be 15 too. Don't count those 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Do not count the 3 on each string. So it will be 15 on each side. Now we're gonna do a slip stitch on the 3rd chain right here, and then we close our project and we're done. And then we're going to go into sewing our button, but first let's finish this. So slip stitch, which is go through the chain, gather thread and pass it through, and now we're gonna cut the thread or yarn. Cut it like this. Then we go and gather that tail and pass it, we gather it and pass it through the loop and tighten it out, and then we're going to be hiding the yarn in the back of your project, of your crochet project. So we gather and pass it through a loop in the back, do the same thing and keep hiding it here. You see, this is the front of the project and this is the back of the project. Okay, so now I just pass it through various loops in the back, and now I cut it close to the project, and it looks more neat and nice. Okay, so now let's start with the sewing. So this is the back of the project and this is the front of the project. Okay, so let's start with the sewing. So now we're gonna cut the thread like this, and I just wanted to show you a quick tip that I learned, is that to tighten up the thread so it doesn't come out and it doesn't have that little slit in there that you see to secure it, you can also do this, which can also work for the bobbins. You tighten up the thread like this so it kind of go into the rest of the thread and it kind of secure it like that, and this is perfect for bobbin or for thread that doesn't have that little slit in the plastic. So again, you tighten it up really tight, and see, it doesn't come, it kind of sticks in there. Okay, so now you pass the thread through the threader, I think I said it right, and pass it all the way. Now we're gonna knot it, put all the two threads together, pass it through the loop again, pass the thread through the loop, keeping it a loop, tighten it up. I do a couple of times so the knot is pretty big, but anyways, when you're working with crochet, there's a way to make sure the thread doesn't slide out, and I'm gonna show you in a little bit. So now we cut the thread like this, and we're ready to start sewing our buttons. Okay, so we stretch it out, get the buttons. You can make use buttons that are bigger like those ones, but I'm gonna use the small one because I don't know, I just prefer it. Okay, so we insert the needle through the crochet project and the button, but don't pull it all the way through. Then pass it through the other hole, and if you see, I'm holding it with my fingers so it doesn't go all the way through, and then I'm gonna pass the needle through that loop over there between the two threads like that. See, I open and then pass the needle through that, and this is the way that I avoid the thread going out, and it's secure right there. And this is better when you're working with crochet because it's not like fabric, the knot will not go through, but in crochet it's better to do it this way so the button or whatever you're sewing onto the crochet gets tighter. Again, you leave a little loop like you see in there, you pass the needle through, and in that way it tightens it again. So you do this multiple of times to make sure it's really secure in there, and see over there, and you can do it again and you see it's very secure. And we're gonna do it another time so it be secure. You can do it as many times as you want depending, but I think I did it like 3 or 4 times, I'm not sure. So again, don't pass it all the way through, pass the needle. You see that big loop there, you're gonna pass your needle through it to keep it secure. Sorry that is not showing on camera, but yes, that's the loop over there. I really apologize there. I hold it with the finger to stretch it out because it wasn't even. Then you pass the needle through there. You don't see it there, but I pass the needle through there, and now I tighten it up like this. And now we're gonna do the final knots just to do it before we cut the thread. That's without passing through the buttons. So again, in the back of the crochet project, do another knot. You pass through a couple of the loops of the thread and make a knot, and then we cut it like this, and we're pretty much done. You see there, look how nice and neat that you see here. And this is how the ear saver looks all finished. And you can see this is the back of the project. It's all nice and neat, and this is the front, and it's ready to put on your mask. You put the elastic and then you can just pull it and see how it will looks on your mask, and it's pretty strong as you can see, and the button stays there. And if you want to make it bigger, you can change the amount of chains in the beginning, and when you're doing the chain you can kind of measure in the back of your head to see how much you'll need to stretch out correctly. So yeah, that's how it look. I hope you enjoy this project. Okay, I hope you enjoy how to do this small project, and that it be very helpful for you. If you like it, you can go ahead and press the like button. I truly appreciate it. And just take care, success on your projects, keep safe, and that's it. Big hug, take care, and be till the next one. Ciao.